What's up, everyone, and welcome to Shared Save the Game Media's weekly gaming discussion podcast. I am your host, Kevin, and on today's episode, we're talking about that upcoming Xbox Developer Direct, our most anticipated games of 2026, and more. Before we get to that, gotta introduce my co-host back for another year. This is episode 20. Sam Heaney, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. Little sleepy today,
Mm-hmm.
but excited to get the content kickstarted again. It feels like it's not been very long, but also feels like it's been long at the same time. You know what I mean? It's in that weird nebulous area. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the ball rolling.
It's been a while because the holidays, fell on a Thursday, but then also like they're the two holidays where they also have holidays the night before, so we couldn't really like reschedule. So it has been almost a month since our last live episode of Shared
Yes.
Save. If you are a Patreon member, of course, you got our fantasy critic this past weekend where Sam and I are duking it out with 30 games. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, getting back in the swing of things. My first week back at work since my vacation, since the holidays really. So getting into that, I want to get some content going, some ideas, some videos, some shorts, whatever it is, and obviously have these podcasts. I'm happy to see some chat here with us tonight. We got Stilkin hanging out, got Nissa Hauer. We also have Savoy Prime, my homie, saying the slackers are back. Ron,
This is the energy you want to start the year with. You know?
you do. I'm pretty sure your podcast is monthly, my guy.
Yeah.
I'm just
That
saying.
doesn't sound very brotherly from another motherly. You know?
Yeah, right. Thank you. Shout out to Brothers from Another Mothership. I have their 3-hour podcast queued up, so I gotta listen to their newest episode. Captain Logan's here. What is up, buddy? How is it going? Hope everyone has had wonderful holidays, happy new year, all that jazz. It's a little late to say happy new year personally. It's like 2 weeks already into January. So
Mm-hmm.
Sam, I'm going to go through the housekeeping and then we're going to start this show properly. So, if you are new here, this is Shared Save. We are live every Thursday right here on youtube.com/save the game media. If you can't catch us live, we post every Sunday on your favorite audio platform of choice. While you're over there, please drop us those 5-star reviews, hit the follow button, get us up in those algorithms. It helps us a lot. If you want to support us even further, get early audio access to this show and exclusive bonus content like our exclusive Patreon episode every month and my exclusive monthly Q&A, which I will be doing this month. I will send out the questions to patrons soon. Head over to patreon.com/save the game media. Choose a tier that's right for you, like our current supporters. So thank you to Sam Hall, Alpaca Tom, Rick Davis, Silkenit, Dave Harp, David Hotright, Lillian, Marcus O'Neill, Brendan Myers, aka The Winter Gamer, Nikolai Knight, Fabulous Brianna, Brandon, Black Wyver, David Burdett, and Dingle Bomb. Thank you for your support. We also have Brian Eck checking out the 7-day free trial. Thank you so much, Brian, for checking that out. Hope you like what you're hearing. That's housekeeping out of the way, Sam. So without further ado, why don't we jump into what have you been playing in the month we've been off?
Jesus. Not a lot really. It's been a few games quite heavily. So let's think. Let's cast my mind back. I picked up Stalker 2
Mm-hmm.
for PS5, enjoying that. Steadily making my way through. I went back and fully 100%ed platinumed Dispatch.
Ooh.
Um,
How'd you like this? Did you like Dispatch? Because I've heard most people sing its praises. There are a few people that I've heard be like, I didn't really like click with me. It's on my wish list. It is one I eventually want to get to though.
yeah, I mean, I think it was an honorable mention when we were talking about our games of the year, but it didn't make it onto my actual list. I really like it. Like it does. I think it's very well written, very well voice acted, and I did enjoy the actual dispatching, rather than the decision making. But I think that I don't like reusing talking points, but it feels like again a foundational game
Mm,
where like they just haven't quite worked out the kinks and how things blend together.
okay.
So it feels like a game of two parts, and both are good, but they just don't sort of mesh very well. So I think like in a season two, which I do hope happens, they could really make something special if they just sort of finagle those points a little bit more.
Uh, yeah, that's kind of the criticism I've heard is that some people like the dispatch aspects.
Mhm.
The people it doesn't click with, then they're there for the choices. So I am excited. I will grab it on a discount. I know it's only $30, but we're pinching pennies in this economy. All right, so
Yeah,
I'll get it eventually. I see Ron in the chat saying dispatch is outstanding. So again, I've heard good things. Looking forward to it.
not quite as good as Death Running 2, Ron. Just so you know.
Yeah, Logan also says he loved it, so I'm getting good word of mouth. So.
There you go. You can definitely trust Logan. Ron, maybe not so much.
Wow, okay. Starting beef
Um,
here.
he started it, not me. Okay, I'm giving what I got. Hey, whoa, chill, chill, everyone, chill. Uh, I, I'm a sadist, right, Kev?
Yeah, I know that.
So I also subjected myself because a friend of mine gifted me their physical copy of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PlayStation 5.
A game we both enjoyed. We played it on Xbox. We liked it until the last area. We did
Enjoyed is a very flexible
did we
word,
do
you
a
know?
spoiler cast on Indiana
I think we
Jones?
planned to, but we never actually got around to it.
Okay, we talked about it though
We did,
extensively because I'm like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know all your thoughts on this game.
But no, like jokes aside, I do enjoy the game, but I think, as you said, that last area like sucks
Mhm,
major ass.
it does.
Um, and I have a few gripes, but I played it through again. I platinumed it. I had a decent enough time, but I was glad that it was over when it was done. So I've put that to rest, added it to the Platinum Collection, put it aside. Do you know what else I've added to the Platinum Collection?
Hellblade 2.
Mm-mm.
Mm,
No, I'm not
one
that
day.
much of a
One
sadist.
day. No? Okay.
Don't think so. No, they could pay me to try and get that platinum, and I might still pass on it. You know.
I don't. I had the 100% on Xbox, and they
So did
added that
I.
new dark rot mode or whatever, and I was like, "You ruined my achievements." And
Yeah,
maybe
not a fan of that.
I, I'm sure eventually I will go back and get it, but it's gonna be I'm have to be in a very specific mood, and I say that as someone that likes Hellblade too.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I platinumed, which is obviously the cream of the crop here, Paw Patrol World.
No, all right. I need a new co-host, everyone. You
So
can
yeah, it was fun, everyone.
send your resumes to save the game media at gmail.com.
Listen, Kev, as I said in the Discord, I can't pass on on a nice, easy PlayStation Plus Platinum. I'll take them.
Mm,
I'll add them in. Took me 5 hours, 5 hours well spent. Absolutely not.
yeah,
I know that, but I did it. It's done, and now it's a permanent stain on my record. But I don't care.
the chat is roasting you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Um,
fine.
I'm just gonna see is Race with Orion on PS5
Don't
because
set me on a dangerous path.
it is Race with Ryan is available on PlayStation. It is $25. I don't see it available in any subscription service. So I was going to tell you to play Race with Ryan because that's a 2 hour platinum that mainly involves driving in a circle.
Mm,
Because it's not a very good kart racer.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I got the 100% on Xbox. That's how I know that.
Yeah, yeah. It is a curse. So can I agree. But it's one that I proudly burden myself with. And the only other thing I'm playing, which I'm playing for IGN coverage right now, is I'm after the fact, but they asked me to do it, covering the big story expansion that came out for Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Interesting.
yeah, the big like crossover that ties in with the movie that came out at the end
Hmm.
of the last year, and it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
I've heard good things. In terms of like, it's not oh my god overwhelming like people talking about it on the internet. But everyone I know that's played it is like this game is visually beautiful. Like it's a pretty good. It's like Far Cry but with an Avatar skin, right?
It's like I would say the most appealing Ubisoft game
Okay.
that fits very well within the Ubisoft formula. So
Yes, and we say this as Ubisoft partners who are very appreciative of all the love they show us.
yes, agreed.
Um,
What about
that's
you?
awesome. I have obviously had limited gaming time, seeing as I was out of the country for 2 weeks.
You
So I
played the
didn't.
game of life.
Yeah, I did play the game of life. I have a ring on my finger now, everyone. Um, so I didn't get much gaming time from basically January 1st until Sunday. But I did play a few things over the holidays that I'll chat about. So first one I'm gonna talk about is Final Fantasy Tactics,
Mm.
the Ivalice Chronicles. This is the remaster version of Final Fantasy Tactics. That was a PS1 game way back when, and I have never played Final Fantasy Tactics. I have heard nothing but, oh my god, this is like one of the best JRPGs, strategy RPGs. Um, and I gotta tell you, don't see it, don't understand. I put 10 hours into it, and I have wiped my hands of it. I've in fact sold the game because I had it on
Ooh,
Switch. So I've firmly been like, I will not be returning to this, and it's
damn.
sad. It saddens me because there's a game, Triangle Strategy, that's very heavily influenced by Final Fantasy Tactics, I would say, that I think is amazing. Like, I loved that game. I was obsessed with that game when this came out. So I was really looking forward to this one. I know it's old, but I think this is one of the most unbalanced games I have ever played. Um, enemies enemies are significantly higher level than you at all times. They really want
Mm.
you to grind constantly, which is frustrating. I understand it's an old thing. I am not a person that likes to grind constantly in JRPGs. Um, I usually, I can usually figure out a way to break the game, and so I don't have to manage that in grindier games. Um, but even then, I was like, all right, I'll push through older game. I'll level up a bit. We'll manage this. But then I get to like a boss fight, and I just have he has question marks for health bars, and I'm like trying to fight him, and he's just putting the spell on my entire team that like, oh, in 2 turns you're all gonna die, so you have to like kill him in like limited amount of turns, and I just can't do it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and it's like, oh, looking up online. All right, I'm gonna find some guides. It's like, oh, you got to use these spells. These spells will get that off your team and then keep you alive. That'd be great if the spells didn't have about a 90% chance to miss.
Mm.
Like attack spells, great. If I want to fireball someone, fantastic. If I want to use support spells, they just seem to always miss. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? I don't understand. Like, I've leveled up I don't even remember the classes, but whatever's after white mage. Like, I had a dedicated healer, wasn't working. So I tried that for like 2 hours, and I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm not having fun. I'm done with it. So go play Triangle Strategy, everyone. Much better version of this game.
It's a bummer to hear.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. That was one of my Christmas gifts too. So it was a shame.
Oof.
The next two are much more positive that I want to talk about.
Mhm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm wearing the shirt. Splintered Fate. This is a game that came out, I think, on PC in 2023,
Mm.
2024. It's a little old, but it came to consoles, I want to say, last year. And this game is amazing.
Oh.
I got it for, I think it was like $11 or something. Um, it is Hades, but with TMNT and full 4-player co-op. So you each get a turtle. There's DLC if you want to be like Casey Jones or the robot turtle. I forget his name, Metalhead. Um, but it's exactly what Hades is. Like, you run through, you go to the sewers, you pick upgrades at the start or end of every little area, and then you fight bosses, you repeat, like you'll get different modifiers as you go through, like portals. Like, hey, if you go through this portal, it'll increase all the damage you take, but like you'll get more rewards for your upgrades and stuff. So like there's different challenges to make it more exciting. So you're not just doing like, oh, I beat Shredder for the 100th time. Like, there's different things to do.
Mm.
I didn't think I would like it because it's a roguelite, but I was like willing to give a chance because I like TMNT and it's co-op, and I've just had an absolute blast with it. Me and Kyle and our friends, we've been playing. They've put a lot more time into it because they were playing it while I was on vacation. So you can make some absolutely busted builds in this game. Like, it's I don't know what else to say. It's just a fantastic action roguelite if you're looking for that.
Mm. What? Because what was I'm getting it mixed up with the other TMNT game, which was more
Uh,
like 2D beat 'em up.
that's Shredder's Revenge
Right. Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the Temu that came out a few years ago, which also was very good, but completely different to that one. Is like 2 hours long. It has replayability, but like it's a very different game. This is full like 3D. It's Hades. Like if you just put the turtle in Hades.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's cheap. I know they do bundles too. I think they had a bundle with Haste, if I remember correctly, which is like they
Mm.
must be published by the same people or something. And then they had one with TMNT Tactical Takedown, a game I reviewed last year and really liked as well. Strange Scaffolding, I think was that
Oh yeah.
publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good tactics game. Simple, short, but really fun TMNT game. So you can get this game. It's on sale all the time. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
And then I have been playing the game. I've been putting a lot. I've put about 20 hours into it since Sunday. Make of
Mm.
that what you will. The Legend of Heroes: Trails Beyond the Horizon. Officially out today. At the time of talking, I was provided a code from NIS America. Thank you, NIS America. Um, they gave it to me while I was on vacation. Embargo was also while I was on vacation. So I will have a review, like a full video review coming out. I'm aiming for Monday, but it depends on. I'm nearing the end, but it also depends on if I can actually get through it this weekend. So look for that coming up. But so far, I like it. I don't love it. And
Right.
that is kind of, I don't know if I went into it too many expectations just because I hear people like, oh, this is a redemption after Daybreak 2 is disappointing, which is this is much better than Daybreak 2. Don't get me wrong. I like this game way better. But I have a weird feeling that like the game just kind of feels, I don't want to say thrown together, but like the story doesn't feel as cohesive as I want it to be. It almost feels like, hey, we have a bunch of assets. Let's make a story around them because it's like, why are these characters here? Why aren't they off in this other world? And like they do their best to explain it, but it is a hodgepodge of like characters I've never seen interacting together on screen. It's very very strange at points, and that's not to say it's not good because the combat's fantastic. They've added new combat mechanics to enhance the action part and the turn-based part where they continue to innovate on those areas. It returns like one of my favorite characters that we haven't seen in about 11 games.
Oh.
So I'm very happy he's back. So far, I would like more of him. He seems to be like the third protagonist that gets like the least amount of screen time, which sucks in my opinion because like I wanted this to be his game. But right now, I'm walking away with it like it's good. Let's see if they can nail the ending, wrap everything up in a nice bow because it was a very slow start. Like the opening, I would say 8 hours. I was like, are we gonna get to the plot anytime soon? Like, God, it was just it was dragging there. But I'm past that. We're into the meat and potatoes. It is opening up more, so I'm enjoying it. But let's see if they nail the ending. Let's see if they walk away. If I walk away satisfied. But I also walk away like I don't know if I'm just getting like I'm over the current arc structure
Sure.
and we just need like because this is the third game in the Calvert arc, which means nothing to you. But essentially, like every arc, they kind of change like the mechanics. Like Cold Steel is like more Persona esque. Now they did this one, which is like, oh, you're a fixer, so you like do requests for people and stuff. Like that's how you do your side quests. So I'm kind of just over the structure, I think, of this arc, and I would like to see something new. I think is more my issue with it. But again, good. Stay tuned for my full thoughts.
Excited to hear them.
That's all I've been playing. So
Mm.
why don't we jump into the news and the industry's still getting back up and running, everyone. So the news is kind of light, but we do have a few things announced. And Sam, you wanted to chat about the Xbox Developer Direct and Forza, which you got a little information on. So I'm gonna throw it over to you if you want to introduce. I don't even remember when this Direct is.
It's the 22nd, if I
Okay.
believe. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, we know the announced games anyway, those being Forza Horizon 6, Fable, and Beast of Reincarnation
Yeah.
from Game Freak.
Okay.
But yeah, I just, we're in, as you said, early parts of the year. Things are winding up. We'll have a state of play next month. I imagine another Nintendo
Yeah,
Direct is
for sure.
probably inbound.
February.
Yeah. But Xbox goes first, which is nice. So I wanted to touch base, see what, there are rumors of secret games at the Dev Direct, which they like to do. And also with the seeming leak around Forza Horizon 6, what are our expectations, in terms of release dates for these things, where it sets Xbox up in at least the first half of this year. Yeah, and just see where we're at with Xbox's pipeline. So for context, I'll just lay the groundwork and then open the floor up. I think it was yesterday or the day before that a splash page inside of Forza Horizon 5 showed details with a new image of Forza Horizon 6, talking about a pre-order for Horizon 6. And it says, discover the breathtaking landscapes of Japan in over 550 real-world cars and become a racing legend in Forza Horizon's biggest open-world driving adventure yet. Pre-order Forza Horizon 6 Premium Edition or get the Premium Upgrade featuring, and this is the main thing, I'm not going to worry about reading everything, early access. Play 4 days early starting May 15th.
Yep.
So now that would, by proxy, mean that the game is coming out May 19th. Is that earlier than you thought? Later than you thought?
Yeah, so we'll start with Forza because obviously that's the one we know the most about. May 19th or May 15th, whatever you want to call it, is actually right, kind of in line with what I heard the release. Look, I was informed by other people much smarter than me that it was going to be an earlier game, like spring
Sure,
was going to
yeah.
be the target. So I expected it in this time frame. Obviously, I didn't know May or whatever. May 19th seems right on the like completely fine with that release date. The early access model I think has worked well, specifically for Forza Horizon 5. There were, I want to say, 2 million plus people that paid for that premium upgrade, that premium edition across Xbox and PC. So I think it'd be silly not to go with that model. My big question is, what does the price point look like for Ford? Do we stay at $70 or is this going to be the first $80? Because we know Xbox was holding off. They said, hey, our holiday titles are not $80. We're going to keep 70 for now. But that was just holiday. Like I know some people made it seem like, oh, Xbox has backtracked completely on $80, but the caveat there was always holiday titles in their press release. So I really want to see the pricing for this, and I assume we will get that maybe after the developer direct when pre-orders go live. Although Xbox has been a little cagey putting pre-orders, like keeper pre-orders didn't go live till like the night before or whatever, right? So like
That is true.
it is an interesting balance here, especially with it being a Game Pass title. It is on PC and Xbox. The PlayStation 5 version is coming, but it's not seemingly at launch from what they've said, right? So I'm more wondering, like, we get it in May for PC, Xbox. Do you think we see the PS5 version before the end of the year?
Hmm. I'm inclined to say yes. I think there's a world where we don't, but I think with how monumental this game is going to be, I think it's arguably probably Xbox's biggest game this year.
Mm,
Um, so, and certainly I would argue, like by a wide margin, its most surefire bet.
hmm
So I would wager that they would be wanting to, obviously we know it's not day and date, so they would probably be trying to get it as close to its release as possible.
hmm
So I would wager it's maybe like an Indiana Jones type thing, where it's like 4, 5, maybe 6 months afterwards. that obviously does butt up um, towards like getting close to GTA 6 if GTA 6 stays. And it would be around like a theoretical like Wolverine release date as well.
Hmm.
But I also don't think that those over cross over too
Yeah.
much. And I think like Microsoft considering the success, even with like you mentioned, uh, early access, that was incredibly lucrative on PlayStation 5 as well.
Hmm.
Despite it being years old, they did early access for a few days of additional play ahead of time. So I think like they won't worry too much because I think that they know that whenever it comes to PlayStation 5, it's going to sell because the last one did.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think it's funny you bringing up the Forza Horizon 5 seemingly has done really well on PlayStation years after release. It's like by a wide margin, not counting Call of Duty, their most successful like port that
yeah,
they brought over, like the Xbox IP they brought over. We saw those Alinea analytic numbers, which whether they're 100% accurate or not, they do rough estimates, and it's like the next highest selling was only like 1 million. I think that was Oblivion, and then the rest were like hundreds of thousands lower. So the Xbox multi-platform push by and large on PlayStation anyway hasn't really seen a ton of huge return in terms of like people buying the games, except Forza. So when people are talking about like, oh, Xbox is gonna have a big year, and then they're talking about like, oh, Fable's gonna be a huge title. Gears, the next Gears game is obviously a big event. Like, I don't think people realize how big Forza is. Forza Horizon 5 had over 40 million players, and obviously that's Game Pass, but this one's on Game Pass. But it also sold incredibly well. Like I said, millions bought it for before it launched for the premium. I think it sucks that it's not on PlayStation at launch because I think that would only help the game. But I have no doubt that when this does come, and I expect it before the end of the year, it's going to be a big title. Like it's gonna sell millions of copies on PlayStation whenever it comes.
yeah. And I think it is sort of like an under the radar live service esque game that they have
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
they can continually update it with new content and that helps to draw in those big player numbers. So I think people kind of dismiss that. They recognize it as an arcade racer that gets new content, but they don't really consider the continual nature of the game as well.
Hmm.
So monetizing it with DLC packs, they did, the Lego crossover in previous Forzas, um, new cars and whatnot. I think that it's again, it's their most surefire bet. So I'm surprised that of all of the games that we know that they're releasing next year currently, this is the one that seemingly is. I mean, we know it isn't day and date, but seemingly might be the only one that isn't day and date.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
that is bizarre to me because it's the one that has the most monetary potential for them.
For sure.
But who knows what the machinations are behind the scenes at these studios. So
Yeah, I imagine it's just a resources
yeah,
thing that they couldn't get it done in time. Which, but again, I don't know how much effort, like how long does it take to make a port, really, especially if I assume they're working on it already. It just won't be ready.
and also, not to slight the other games like E-Day or Fable or even Campaign Evolved, but I think as well, like we both said, we know that Forza Horizon 6 is going to sell incredibly, incredibly well on PlayStation, regardless of the fact that it's going to be a delayed launch. I think that's less of a surefire thing with the other games. I think like they might want to try and make Fable and E-Day and Campaign Evolved day and date to make the sales as strong as possible,
Hmm.
like right out of the gate and lock in pre-orders and things. Because not that they aren't going to be great, I hope they all are, and I'm sure that they will be great. But there is a bit more of like a wait and see vibe with those games, at least as of right now. So maybe that's their ideology as well, where like they have a proven track record that Forza Horizon will sell regardless of what they do with it. So they can kind of slip that one past the goalie
Hmm.
and, like you say, divert resources and manpower to those other things. Time will tell.
Yeah, but we know Campaign Evolved is coming to
Day and
all
date,
all
true. Yeah,
platforms day and
correct.
days. So that one's good. That one's not at the developer direct. Let's transition to Fable. I
Hmm.
think would be the next, staying in the playground games realm. But also we have reports that Fable is going to be day and date for PS5. That the PS5 port has been in development. That was kind of like a reason adding it to its delay. But Fable will finally be shown at the developer direct. They seem to be teasing that is going to get quite a big showing. Like I know their social media accounts were interacting with each other. Um, the way they're acting kind of makes me feel like it's gonna be this year, and they seem pretty confident in it. Like, obviously, huge Fable fan, love Fable 1, Fable 2, Fable 3. Like, if they can show me something that's like, okay, this is a modern version that captures all of the things I loved about the original Fable, like the choice and consequence, the ever-changing world. Like, I want to be able to buy houses, have wives in the game, right? I want to have that cheeky British humor as well. I'd be disappointed if it was more of like, hey, it's an action RPG with kind of like a Witcher vibe. That's not really
Mm.
Fable. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping that they know what made Fable Fable, and it's not something that it isn't. So I'm staying positive, staying optimistic because they seem confident. But how are we feeling about Fable?
Yeah, I remain skeptical but cautiously optimistic. Um, it's not a unproven thing of a studio switching from one genre to a completely different genre very successfully. It's been done
Hmm.
a handful of times over the past decade, even further back. Um, I haven't seen anything yet from the various showings over the various years of Fable that would suggest to me that this, in terms of gameplay, um, is actually going to be faithful to what Fable historically has been. I'm less attached to Fable, so I wouldn't mind
Hmm.
so much if it went more down the traditional action adventure-y third person thing. But on the flip side, I also think that that is a very crowded market, and it has been for a long time. So I would prefer them to stick to what Fable has been known for, because that would help distinguish it on the market and give it good chance of success. Because if the issue that they're going to run into if they change too many things is why did you call this Fable?
Hmm.
Like why not just have it be a new IP that's set in a fantasy world? And people might then complain, why didn't you just make a Fable game? But like, if it's not Fable, don't call it Fable. Um, but the thing that gives me confidence to a degree until I see it is that in that the press release that they put out announcing what was going to be at the Dev Direct under the Fable section, it did talk about choice and consequence.
Hmm.
So fingers crossed that that extends to like morality and impact on the game world and character look and all of these things that we know.
Yes.
So I hope Playground have a very good track record in the arcade racing space. Obviously, visual fidelity is something that they're masters at. So I hope it's going to be good. Do you think though? And I mentioned this in the Discord. To me, it was a bit later than I was expecting for Forza.
Okay.
I would have thought that that would have been first up because you don't need a massive marketing cycle lead up to Forza. You can just kind of like fart it out and it's going to do well regardless. Like it's cars and it's in Japan. Cool. Like that's all we need to know. Whereas with Fable, I think you need to sell it a little bit more. Um, so I thought maybe Forza first and then Fable later. But I don't know. Like I'm maybe reading that Fable might even be before Forza. I don't know whether that's
Hmm.
crazy.
I'll address that in a second. I want to bring in Sincere's here. Says so you don't want to reimagine a Fable. You want more of the same. I don't know if I want more of the same. I want a updated modern version of really Fable 1 if we're
Mm,
being like bring modern sensibilities to what Fable 1. I don't want it to come out and be a this could have been any fantasy RPG, and we just slapped the Fable name on it. It's kind of hard to describe. Like if you haven't played Fable, it's kind of hard to describe what makes a Fable game Fable, though. If that makes sense. So, um, I really just, as long as they keep the British sensibilities, the silly humor, the choice and consequences, the morale, like as long as they keep the core components that really make Fable Fable, I'll be happy. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
And I think
So
as well, like just as a
yeah,
addendum to that, I see a lot of people talking in that kind of vein of like, why wouldn't you want a reimagining, like redefine what it is? And they point at something like God of War 2018. I'm like, okay, well that's fair, but the difference is that God of War was about Kratos, and Kratos persisted as a character.
yeah.
Like it's the same character going into a reboot, reimagining, whatever. Whereas that you don't have that with Fable because it's a
No,
player created character and a reactive world and whatnot. So the thing that would persist in Fable are the things that we're talking about that make it Fable. You don't have a
hmm,
character you can carry over into a reimagining that would still ground it in a Fable world.
great
So
point.
I think that's the differentiation.
Great point. Soaking it says Masters of Albion ready to eat Fable's lunch. Peter Mulholland coming back for the crown.
He's a persistent man, you know, and if nothing else, he keeps trying.
Listen, I will always have respect for Peter Molyneux despite all of his like nonsense. Okay. Something inside, like he gave me Fable. Something inside me just like I can't bring myself to dislike the man, even if I think like his game looks kind of bad. All
Yeah.
right. um Back to your question though.
Mm.
You were talking about release date for Fable. Where do we think that's falling? Realistically, it's probably towards the end of the year, like maybe the fall. Optimistically, I would love if this was like, hey, this is coming out in March. This is our Q1 game. We've been working on it. Like, because do you need 2 months? Do you need more than 2 months of marketing for Fable? Like personally,
At this
I don't
point,
think so. So I feel like if it is ready to go, they've had a lot of time to work on it. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility in my mind. But then I hear other people saying like, "Oh, well, Fable was a chance to get delayed," and I'm like, "How could that possibly be the case? They've been working on it so long." So there's two minds of thinking here, right? I just I don't know which one is going to go. If I have to be more realistic, probably towards the end of the year.
yeah. I mean, like in my brain, I'm like, why would they show it at the start of the year when they have other things that they could show if it's towards the end of the year? But then I reflect and it's like, oh, well, Indiana Jones was in a Dev Direct and then that came out in December. So, you know, I guess that sort of nullifies my point. But the issue then becomes like, and I guess that partially in context of like discussing what is or in this case isn't at the Dev Direct, I don't know what that then does for the rest of their calendar because, you know, does that mean that Horizon 6 is the first game that they're shipping next year? In which case, that means Fable and Gears and
Well,
Halo have to come out after it and also avoid GTA.
well, here's the thing about Xbox. All right, they don't care. They have shown
Yes,
us year on year that they're okay shotgun blasting their games into a condensed window.
that's such a bad
Um,
idea.
yeah, I mean, we saw that just this last fall where they had Ninja Gaiden, Keeper, Outer
Mhm.
Worlds within a 3 week span, right? And like, I still haven't played the Outer Worlds 2. I played Ninja Gaiden and Keeper because those were like shorter experiences that I was there for at that time. Um, I will get to Outer Worlds 2 eventually, but like, I do think like I feel like Halo is the anniversary game, right? We know Forza. Gears is up in the air. I don't have any like I clearly think Gears is later in the year. Like that's probably going to be the showcase game at the
Yes.
so like it's after June, I imagine. So I can see a world where Gears and Fable and Halo all come out after June. I can also see Fable slotting into this quarter 1, but that's me being optimistic. So like it really depends on it if the games are ready to go or not, I think. And then they probably have some other unannounced things. I would imagine we're hearing we'll get to it, but like we're hearing there's a secret game. So like Xbox tends to have these smaller little, I don't want to say exclusivity deals, but like Replaced is coming out in March. That's a game they've long been associated with, right? Like they're going to have these Game Pass drops, these games that they're associated with sprinkled throughout the year. And I don't really think they care all that much. Like Fallout 3 remastered, right? That's
Mm,
a rumor we've heard for a while. Like, where does that fit in? Is that one of the Q1? Is that the Q1 game? Yes, Nissa brings up Bistro. She is a big fan of these indie games that they're marketing for Game Pass. So like it's just a new world for Xbox. I don't really think they care about like spreading the calendar year out, because
yeah.
they don't need to sell, like they don't need to have their hardware
No,
figures
yeah. I mean, you're
fit
right.
into
Yeah.
their fiscal year, right? Like PlayStation is like, all right, we need a game to drive sales here. We need a game to drive sales here. And they kind of
Hmm.
spread that out. I think Nintendo is kind of the same way where they famously they held Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to fit into like they hold games to always have like a little pin cushion, like this will drive sales here, this will drive sales. Xbox, they don't care. They want you to play the game. They want you to be on Game Pass. They want you to buy the game if it's multi-platform. Like that's what it is.
Yeah. That's an excellent point, and I concede to that. I think that that is the most logical answer. So it's unfortunate because I would love to see, even in a world where they're not worried about selling hardware, just have their big tent poles be like monumental, like, newsworthy things throughout the year
Oh,
so that they stay in the conversation.
in my dream, Fable comes out March or February or March. Forza is May. Gears is like August,
Yep.
and then Halo is November. Like
Yep.
that is my dream. I doubt that happens.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Never mind. Never mind. I'm sure the games will be good when they come. You mentioned secret game. I mean, Beast of Reincarnation is there. Like, we know barely anything about it.
It's
It's Game
it's a
Freak.
hard one for me to really talk about because like I thought the trailer looked good when we saw. I mean, it was
Mhm.
framey as hell, which I expect from Game Freak, but like I thought the trailer showed well. I'm excited to see actual gameplay. Like, what are we doing in the game? Is it a Monster Hunter style game? Is it like a Shadow of Colossus style game? Is it a Souls game? Like, let's see. Yes, it is in Game Pass. Um, so I'm interested to see more. That's another one. Like, where does that come out? Is that gonna be a soon release? It's hard to say because we know so little
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because, again, I guess, Playground with Fable, it's Game Freak going out and doing something very different to what they're usually known for doing.
Hmm.
I would probably have less confidence in that one than Fable as a swing for the studio, but maybe I'm proven wrong. Maybe Beast of Reincarnation is Game of the Year. Who knows?
I based on the trailer, I'm interested. We'll see if my hype continues after seeing gameplay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Something we know even less about, though, Kev, which is undoubtedly going to be there in some fashion, is
Mhm.
a secret hidden game that they like to sprinkle into these dev directs.
Yes, they
Um,
do.
you've been not fully offline, but you've been away for a few weeks, so I don't know whether you've heard the speculation about what this might be.
Sorry, I need some water. Um, so I've heard mainly two things.
Mhm.
One is Fallout 3 remastered
Yep.
as a potential because I think the Fallout show is ending soonish for like second season, not the series. So that could be like a way to cap off like, hey, we had a phenomenal second season. Which I still have to watch, by the way. Speaking of which, that's
Me
that's
too.
that's on my I love the season one. I just haven't had time. Um, that would be a good way to like cap off season two. Here's Fallout 3 remastered. I I think it would have a pretty big pop, just like Oblivion
Mhm.
did last year. The other one I've heard is Double Fine's um, secret game, their small kiln, which we've heard rumblings that like this was supposed to be the secret game, I think last year, and then it's going to get shadow dropped at the. So like I've heard this constantly. Basically, anytime there's an Xbox showcase, like Double Fine's secret kiln game that they mentioned in 2017 is finally going to get shown off, or it's like a PvP game where you're like pottery or something, right? So like
Mhm.
I don't know if that's even real. I don't know if they're even working on that. If that ever like became a game. Um, I would be interested just because it is Double Fine. I don't think I would have like much of a hype reaction or some sort of like this is going to be huge though. So like that gives me a little modern day Microsoft gaming, Xbox, whatever you want to call it. Like, do they invest in that? Like, is that something they care about? Gives me a little concern. So if I'm leaning one way or the other, I think it's more likely to be like a Fallout 3 remaster, or
Mm.
I think the rumor was it's going to be like a, was it an indie game or was it a small, or did they retract that and say it was a small?
Yeah, I think it was like a miscommunication where they
Okay.
said it was initially like a promising indie from a third party, and then they retracted it and said that it was a like a promising smaller game from a internal team,
Okay.
along those lines. So I feel pretty confident that it's Double Fine,
Okay.
um, primarily just because, fountain of knowledge, like, I repeatedly refer back to it of Psych Odyssey, the Psychonauts 2 documentary, um, the Amnesia Fortnight, which is what the game jams they do internally, every other year. Kiln was one of those, I think, like you said, back in 2017 or something, but it was part of the documentary, and at that time, at least, one of the surveys that was covered in one of the episodes of the documentary said that, like, 85% of the studio agreed that they should turn Kiln into a game, and the person who led that project in the game jam is confirmed to currently be a game director at Double Fine. Um, and like you say, all the rumors and like speculation and insiders have been saying that Kiln is a thing and like Kiln is coming.
Hmm.
I think even Jez put out an article in one of his Windows Centrals things saying like, um, a game that's been like baking or something, and he put baking in italics. It's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I so I would be inclined to believe that it's Kiln. I agree with you that like modern day Microsoft, I don't know how that's still a thing, but maybe it was far enough along
I mean, if it's
where
good, they'll have an instant player base at least trying it out on Game Pass. I see Sincere's and Nissa talking about like the benefits of Game Pass. Reviews don't matter that much to them if they have Game Pass. You can just check the game out for yourself. That has always been a benefit, but also like multiplayer titles launching into the service. Is it free to play? I don't know. That would also, I think, help at least get people to try the game.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to be overly pessimistic, um, but I don't think that this is going to go too well for Double Fine. If it is Double Fine, we both love Double Fine. We've been on the record. I
Yeah.
didn't love Keeper so much, but like everything else, I'm a massive fan of. Um, I don't think this is going to pan out. I'd love to be proven wrong, and I think that like Keeper into whatever this is, Kiln or otherwise. I don't know, man. I'm not putting bad juju out there, but I just have a bad feeling for that team. Because
It if it is Kiln,
yeah,
will you try it?
yeah, oh yeah, I'll try
Okay.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Me
Yeah,
too.
I
Me
mean,
too.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
from what we saw in the documentary, I assume it's evolved certainly from that point. But the concept was very cool. Like, uh, at the beginning of each match, you go to a kiln that's like your tower in like a MOBA or something, that the main thing that you defend as a team, and you
Mhm.
go there and you like, physically manipulate with physics your pot as you're doing pottery,
Interesting.
and depending on the size of the pot, the shape of the pot, that will change how you dynamically walk around, how much health you have, how you can interact with certain things on the battlefield, and your objective, at least at that point, as far as I recall, was as pot in this pot that you build, that you're controlling, and attacking enemy players with. You carry water in that pot to then put out the fire in the other team's kiln, and that's how you win. But obviously, if you get damaged, you can leak water and things.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's a cool
Yeah,
concept.
yeah, yeah.
But I do wonder with how much reach Double Fine games typically have, even with the benefit of Game Pass, and you know, to be frank, other far more popular multiplayer offerings that are
Yeah.
also on Game
That,
Pass.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'd love for it to be great. I'm sure it will be good, but I'd love for it to succeed. I just don't really see that happening.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's just like we've never known Double Fine to even attempt to make something like that,
Yeah,
and it does feel unlikely that their brand would be a huge multiplayer hit. But again, never know until it actually comes out.
exactly.
It might not even be the game. This is all hypothetical. So,
Yeah,
um, I do want to give a shout out to Savoy Prime for joining the Patreon. I just got a notification. Thank you, Ron, for joining at the $1 achievement unlock tier. So thank you so much. Again, patreon.com/save the game media. You can get exclusive content over there starting at $1 a month. Is that it for the developer direct?
I believe so. That I mean, there could be another secret game, but I don't. We obviously don't know that yet.
Yeah. Well, last year they had Ninja Gaiden 2 Black
They
and Ninja
did.
Gaiden 4. So if they can top that, go for it. But
Yep.
I've been pretty happy with, and Hi-Fi Rush was a secret game. Like
Yeah.
their secret games tend to always be something I'm down for. So let's all right, let go to the next topic. And that is our most anticipated games of 2026. So this is just looking forward a little bit. Obviously, we have games already starting to release. As I've said, Trails in the Trails Beyond the Horizon came out today, but games have been releasing all throughout January already. Um, I don't know how many you want to do. If you want to do like highlights or just ones you're looking forward to, but I might just call out some that
Sure.
I have on my. I don't know if it's a wish list, but ones like I'm interested in checking out this year at some point. So
Hmm.
the first one is one that is actually coming out in a few days, and that is Mio Memories in Orbit.
Mm,
Not sure if you're familiar with this one. This is sort of
indeed.
a Metroidvania. Kind of reminds me of Ori. This
Yeah.
comes from Focus Entertainment. It's putting out this one. I just think it looks beautifully, like visually stunning. It's getting a little hype on social media. I think they've done a pretty good job of like getting people excited for this one. I doubt I'll get to it at launch. I believe it's also coming to Game Pass if you're on Xbox, but it is going to be everywhere. Switch to PlayStation, PC. So this is one to keep your eye on.
Yeah. Um, for me, I mean, I think I have to start with the most obvious one, which is like, I don't know that there's any game that I'm more hotly anticipating than Saros. Um, I don't need to go into why. If people have watched for any length of time, they'll know that what my thoughts are on Returnal. So to get the follow up to that and it be Returnal 2 in all but name, and hopefully just be an improved, streamlined, better version of that, like that is Housemarque have to prove it to me, right? Because I'm coming into this year under the assumption that Saros is going to be my game of the year. So they have to prove that. But I'm confident that they might just be able to do it.
Sincere says before Fable was pretty much confirmed, Replaced and High on Life 2 were my most
Mm,
anticipated games. Replaced is one that I am cautious about, just because it's had such a tumultuous development. High on Life 2 is one I definitely want to play. I really enjoyed High on Life.
me too.
I thought it was funny, cracked me up, and obviously, Sam and I quote it before every show, so it's
We
certainly one for
certainly
us.
do.
Um, I want to give another love. I give more love. Another shout out to a small indie team. The Game Bakers are putting out Karn. Soaking it will yell at me for my pronunciation. I assure you. I love the
Can.
game. Yeah, Cairn. I love the Game Bakers. I love Haven. I love Fury. Um, I'm interested in this one. This is a realistic, I want to say, climbing game where you have to like manage your hunger, manage your stamina, and like it's not like Jusant, I would say. This is
Mm,
very much more like a survival climbing game. From what I've heard, it's pretty good. So I'm interested. Again, it's coming to PS5, PC, January 29th. So excited. Excited to check this one out just because I love the studio. Not so much like, oh my God, I can't wait to play the game. This one is definitely just like kind of double fine for me, right? Like they fall into that category where like I'm gonna play what you put out because I love your previous work.
yeah. Speaking of loving previous work, Kev, I'm going to do a double bill that
All
both of
right.
us are on board for.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, Control Resonant. You
Yeah.
know, we're there for it day one. The other one
Absolutely.
we're there for it day one, Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. We're both there day
Yes.
one.
Yes. Yes. No, weird. They both have resonance
Yeah.
in the title.
Yeah.
You know, like no, I mean
It's all connected.
they're the same studio. No, I obviously was gonna get to those. We don't have release dates for either of those titles right now, which is strange to me because I thought we'd have a the Plague Tale one by now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, two games that obviously we both love. They're both studios' previous games, and I just cannot wait. Obviously, Control is more like they're changing the whole premise of the game. It's an action beat up like what would a character action game. That's
Yeah.
the phrase I was looking for. You're seemingly hunting down Jesse in this one, which is like okay, that's you're going prototype 2 on us, right? And then you have a Plague Tale where I absolutely adore the first two Plague Tales. Like they're two of my favorite games of all time. And this is a prequel where you're not playing as Amicia. I suspect, and tell me if I'm wrong. I think this is probably going to be less stealth and more like an action adventure game.
That's the vibe I've got from the trailer so far. Time will tell. I think stealth will still be a part of it, but like, I think it is far more actiony.
Yeah, it would fit her play style more. That's just where I'm coming from. Ron saying Resident Plague Tale might be the first Plague Tale I play. Why would you hurt me like that? What?
Mm.
Go play them. Go play. Do you need them? Do you need them on Steam? I can send them to you. Do you need them?
That's interesting as well because I know Resonance is set up to be a prequel, at least to Requiem, but I don't know if it would if you're actually interested in playing it, I don't know whether it would be a better idea to play the others first,
Yeah,
considering like it's a character that was introduced in Requiem.
I don't know. I don't.
It might not matter.
Yeah, Amicia is not going to be in the game regardless. Like she's not
Sure.
even. I think the time frame they said like she's either a child or not born yet. So like this is before, like
Mm,
this is ages ago. So this is not going to have any. I can't see it having any tie-ins to the main series. Maybe they mentioned like the macula and stuff,
sure.
as like a just a lore bit. But in terms of like characters, I'd be very surprised if we see any maybe you see like Amicia's mom in the background, like some little Easter egg, but them playing a big role in the story, I'd be a little weary about that.
Yeah, fair point.
Two fantastic games. Let's see. Scrolling down here. Oh, Yakuza Kiwami 3.
Mm,
I'm really I, I I got into my Kiryu Yakuza bag at the end of last year where I played 0, Kiwami 1 and 2. So this is certainly high on my list to play. Took a nice break from from Yakuza because I knew this was coming. So I didn't jump into 3. I'm gonna wait for the remakes of 4, 5, and 6 as well. But everything I'm seeing, I have no reason to doubt this is going to be another phenomenal remake. And I'm just excited to continue Kiryu's journey and see how we get from here to where he was in Infinite Wealth.
looking forward to it scoring me many points in Fantasy Critic.
I can't believe you. Kyle brought that up to me. He's like, Sam took all your games. I'm like, I genuinely can't believe he did that to me.
You know, what can I say? Let's think. I mean, another obvious one like Wolverine, uh, Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition statue behind me. Marvel Shield in general. Like Insomniac are
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation's best studio currently
Yep.
in my eyes. So for them doing a M-rated, brutal, different gameplay style thing that's still going to tie into Spider-Man and set up, you know, without spoiling too much, future games
Mm.
in this kind of series. I think that it's got the potential to be very, very good.
Yeah, I'm all in on Wolverine. I like Spider-Man, but I'm not like a Spider-Man guy. That's
Sure.
very much more Kyle. Obviously, he's Spider-Man tattoos everywhere. But Wolverine is a character I have long loved in in the Marvel comics, in the Marvel universe, whatever you want to call it. So I'm there day one for Wolverine. That is very high up on my list. Um, what's another one I want to bring up here? Oh, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. That's
Mm.
probably my most anticipated game of 2026. Like, I think Three Houses is the best game on Switch. I love the multiple like pick a house leader and have the story change. I played like 600 hours worth of that game because I just kept replaying it and like how can I make it harder? Who can you recruit? So this is the Three Houses team presumably. It seems like there's gonna be four routes this time. Fortunes weave, you know what I'm saying, the wordplay. So yeah, I absolutely can't wait. Please don't delay it. Three Houses got delayed, so like I'm really hoping this comes out this year because it is my most anticipated.
You want a weird one?
Yeah,
Excuse me whilst I pronounce this. Okay, you ready for this?
don't.
Planeten
Nope.
Verteidigungskaninen Commandant.
Nope. It's not even a real thing. You're just saying random things.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just
What
say it
is
again
this?
just for
What is this
clarity.
nonsense? Yeah, yeah, of
Planeten
course. Thank you.
Verteidigungskaninen Commandant.
What is this?
It's a game abbreviated to PVKK, which is very much in my bag. It is along the lines of like a Papers Please type thing. You might have remember seeing it in like a random showcase somewhere over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
You are essentially in like this sort of dystopian, sort of nondescript, I think, Central European country, fictitious, and you're in like the bunker that controls a very, very large artillery cannon, and you are confined to this room and you communicate with people through like computer terminals and video messages, and it's like a choice and consequence thing where you can like choose to follow orders or disobey them.
Mm-hmm.
You have to set targets depending on what you're told to do, and like you're probably presented with what you're targeting and you have to make choices, and then that impacts the story. So it's very much a Papers, Please thing. It's kind of very abstract, very unique, very weird, a little bit quirky and comedic as well from what we've seen in the trailers. So that is probably my indie pick of the year from off the top
Okay.
of my head. There's probably something else I'm forgetting, but that's definitely on top of the wish list.
Yeah, I genuinely like I could bring up my Steam wish list and have like 40 games that I'm looking forward to this year. I think I just want to give one or two more shout outs. Pragmata is my next one.
Mm,
I'm not like I like Capcom. I'm not usually like, oh my god, I can't wait to play a Capcom game because I don't know. I'm not a Resident Evil guy. I'm not a their games just don't really appeal to me all that much. But Pragmata looks amazing. I think I look at very unique. This falls into the bag of hey, they're trying something different, and that is what I look for in video games. Try something different. If I play it and I'm like, doesn't really work all that well. I'm glad they tried it. Like I would rather play a 7 out of 10 that shoots for the stars and try something unique. So I've gone on that rant plenty. All right. You can listen to previous episodes. So Pragmata coming out in April. I'm looking forward to it.
the last two, and also indie ones I would shout out, not confirmed to be this year. I'm not necessarily expecting either to be this year, but I'd love for
Mm-hmm.
them to be, so I'll shout them out. Order of the Sinking Star, which is the puzzle game from Jonathan Blow, the crazy one
Mm-hmm.
that,
Oh
with all the
yeah,
intersecting
yeah, yeah,
tiles.
yeah.
As a big Witness guy, I'm ready for it. I love it. And the other one, which I don't think is this year, but I would love it if it was. Kev, say it with me.
Hmm.
Bradley the Badger.
It's not this year. It's
I
not.
know it's I know
If it
it's not.
was, that'd be top of. I got a few. The Bradley the Badger is up there as my number one, and then what? There's something else that was like Zoo Punk,
Mhm.
where I was like, I want both of those games so bad. They're both definitely 2027.
Or later, probably.
Yeah,
Christ knows. Yeah.
don't hurt. I'm thinking 2027. Like, come on, man. We
Trying to
can
be
get
realistic
Bradley.
but
Yeah,
optimistic.
we can get Bradley the Badger in 2027. All right.
Hopefully.
I mean, if it comes out this year, game of the
Hey,
year, so
give
good
it,
for me. You
yeah,
know
that's
what I'm
right.
saying? The last one, maybe a weird pick, if unless you know me, but I am looking forward to the Halloween game that is coming out.
Yeah.
Just because I love horror movies, I love slasher movies, I love Halloween, despite it having 13 movies and maybe half of them are like garbage. But I do love Michael Myers. I actually have a lot of fun with these asymmetrical types of multiplayer games. Like I put 10 hours or whatever into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, had a really good time with it. I played Friday the 13th, 10 another 10 hours. Like if I get 10 hours out of this style of game, that's good enough for me. Like I can say I enjoyed my time with this. This apparently has a single player mode too, so I'm interested to see how they manage that. But it's just an IP I love. This is just literally an IP fun time for me.
Yeah. I don't know that I have many others that are like worthy of a shout out yet. There's lots that I'm interested in.
Yeah, same.
Like Fable, I'm interested in seeing how that turns out.
Yep.
E-Day as well. Sure they'll be
Phantom
great.
Blade,
Yeah, as well. Yeah, that's
D40
true.
for yeah. So that's ton. Like I said, there's tons I could shout out, but just ones that like kind of have release dates that I'm like looking forward to are
Yeah,
kind of those ones.
agreed.
Let us know what games you're looking forward to in the comments, in the chat, if you're here hanging out with us. There's so many games coming out this year. Another absolutely stacked year. So when I look at stuff like this, is it when people say there's nothing to play or games aren't good these days, like what are you looking at? I genuinely like. There's so many good games, and I didn't name one millionth of the games coming out this year. So
Yep.
all right, Sam. That will bring us to our Patreon topic. If you are a patron over at patreon.com/save the game media, every week I will ask for your questions either in our Discord. The link is down below if you want to join the Discord and chat with our community, or on Patreon itself. I'll say, hey, what questions do you want us to tackle? What topics do you want us to talk about on the show? I will pick one for that week to be the public episode. The rest will be saved and answered on the Patreon exclusive episode. This week, Silking It is the lucky selection. He says, any backlog plans for 2026? So basically, any games in your backlog, how you plan to tackle them? You sorting this out at all?
I mean, so I'm human, right? So I have a insurmountable, massive backlog, right? That's just how these things work. But I will say, like, I guess paradoxically, at the same time, with the nature of the work I do, I typically play the majority of like the new big things. Um, so there's not many blind spots that I have, but there are a few things that jump to mind from last year specifically that I want to circle back to ASAP.
Mm.
Those would be um, Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Oh, I didn't even know you didn't play
Um,
that.
yeah, I obviously remember, well, not obviously, but I love Metal Gear in general. And 3, I mean, Snake Eater is the best Metal Gear. So and after I was very hesitant. I think most people were prior to it coming out, but then it came out and it got like great reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Not anything earth shattering, but like solid. And I'm like, that's all I really need. Like, I need a updated, revamped version of the game. So I want to get to that. 2 others I think in my head are Chronos: The New Dawn.
Yeah, that's one I think on a lot of people's list.
Yeah. And based on not just your recommendation, but certainly your recommendation, Shinobi.
Oh yeah,
Um,
everyone go play Shinobi. So good.
yeah, that's something itching at me, and I need to get to that. So I think that would be my top picks. There's probably something else that I'm missing, but I can't think of it.
I know you're doing IGN coverage for Avatar, and I don't know how much time, you know, I don't know how long that game is, like how big it is, how much time that's taking, but like like right now is a good time to tackle
Trust me, I am
backlogs.
trying to speed through this thing as fast as possible.
Because once we get into February, I think the
It's
floodgates
over.
really start opening, especially for you, knowing some of the titles you're interested in. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, once I finish my review of Beyond the Horizon, again, hopefully you'll have that out this weekend. I am looking to like tackle some backlog games. So I pulled up my wish list, and I think one of the big ones for me, and people can laugh at this. I don't care. SpongeBob Titans of the Tide.
Mm, I respect it.
I genuinely really like the SpongeBob 3D platformer games. Battle for Bikini Bottom, the remastered, rehydrated, whatever you call it. I got the platinum for that. It's a fantastic 3D platformer. Was back in the day, still is. I really like the Cosmic Shake. I don't think it's quite as
Mhm.
good as Battle for Bikini Bottom, but it these aren't just shovelware like IP games that you see from certain developers. These are genuine like good 3D platformers, and I love a 3D platformer.
Yeah. I'm looking at other games that came out. Oh, I do have a couple of other shout outs. Oh Christ, I'm never gonna get to play these. Um, I will shout out First Berserker Kazan,
Oh wow, that's
which
long.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but like as a sort of Souls aficionado who loves them,
hmm
everybody who's played it has said it's a great one. So I feel like I have no connection to First Berserker, but I think it looks pretty sick artistically. So and then the other glaring one, which I'm amazed I forgot, Hades 2.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
as a massive fan of the first one, I just haven't touched
Just play
Hades
TMNT
2.
Splinter Fate instead.
Hey, I mean, now that you've made me aware that that game even exists and is a Hades-like game, then that's like, hey, now.
I don't think the platinum is that hard, by the
Oh,
way.
you're speaking my
So
language.
so on Steam, there's like 79 achievements, but I think on
Mm,
console it's like 38. And it's like
mm.
I don't know if it's quite as hard because there's just not as much to do. But Silkina says, I think I'll never return to Kazan. I already have Code Vein 2 this year and AI limit on the wish list.
Was that out of interest, Silkina? Was that because you didn't enjoy it, or just because you bounced off and don't feel inclined to go back? I'm interested.
AI limit's another Souls game. I don't know if you it's kind of anime aesthetic. Code Vein 2,
Yeah,
but not really.
I'll leave the weebs to
All
the
right, all right.
yeah.
Speaking of weebs, Varlet is is a is a JRPG I am interested in playing. This comes from Furyu, who I want to be nice here.
Mm,
They don't really make good games.
mm,
That being said, I tend to play all of them when they're very cheap and I have a good enough time that it keeps me coming back. So they made like the oh my god, what is the name of that? The overdose? Oh, what is the name for you games? I can't think of it. This is how they made Crystar, which is not a very good game. Monarch, I actually did platinum that game, although again, it's probably just okay. And then the platinum was like me grinding the same level for 30 hours. And
you're
probably
one
why I
of
don't,
us.
yeah, probably why I don't like grinding these days. The Caligula effect 1 and 2, that's kind of what they're known for, I think.
Mm,
Where I think the first one is a decent game. The second one didn't really vibe with me that much. This is supposed to be more like their attempt at Persona. So it's sitting in mixed reviews. I'm going to wait for it to get really cheap, but it is on my backlog that I want to play.
okay, okay.
I already talked about Dispatch. Dispatch is definitely one I want to make time for this year. Just knowing that again, it's not a very long game
No,
and it's critically acclaimed. It has an art style and a topic. Superheroes has that invincible looking art style. Like it's right up my alley. So I'm hoping it connects with me because I'm not in love with. I was never in love with Telltale games, but I do love things like Dark Pictures and like the Quantum Dream games. So if I can
sure.
take that, I think I can have a good time with this.
Yeah. The last thing I would say tentatively, and I'm not saying this is actively on my backlog, but I could see myself going to that I've missed out is Kingdom Come 2.
Ooh,
Now, wasn't a massive fan of the first one,
I never played it. I just don't see myself liking it.
and it's a massive time commitment, and it's one of those things like I think we've both said before, where it's like it's so immersive and there's so much
Mhm.
stuff that you have to keep an I'm like, I'm just I can't deal with it. But I think it's just the amount of like praise that the game's gotten. I feel compelled somewhat to just be like, I need to see what this is about. Like,
Mhm.
why is it getting so much adoration? Why was it a Game of the Year contender?
For sure.
Uh, that's the curiosity rather than me actively wanting to probably play it to completion, if play it at all.
Uh, so there are a few more on my backlog. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is one I
Mm.
want to check out just because I loved Shredder's Revenge. This is from Dotemu. I love Marvel, so I want to play through that. Echoes of the End is one I want to check out. This is a very, I want to say double A, maybe single A, action adventure game. Kind of reminds me of like, I mean, it's a third person over the shoulder. Like it's that style of game, but I do like these type of games. It has lots of patches. Like it came out to middling reviews, but it got a lot of like updates, and apparently it's in a pretty good state now. So I want to check that out. Um, is that all from 2025? I think that's all from 2025 that I'm like, I really want to get to those this year. I already have one from 2026 that, like, oh man, I'm adding it to the list, and that's Big Hops. I don't know if you've
Yep,
seen
I've got
anything
that
about
on my
this.
wish list as
It
well.
looks
So
so
cool.
good. So like for everyone that doesn't know, you play. It's a 3D platformer. You play as a frog, but like you use your tongue to like grab the things and like you could run on walls. I don't know. It just looks very cool. It's getting pretty good reviews from what I've seen. It was a Kickstarter game at some point, so I'm excited for this one. Again, don't know when I'll get to it, but I really do want to make time for it.
Agreed.
Do you have anything else, or should we wrap this up?
Uh, I don't think. I mean, I guess a minor shout out. I would be interested at some point in circling back to the Overture DLC for Lies of
Mm-hmm.
P.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because again, that got great reviews from people that played Lies of P, and obviously, I'm a big fan of the base game. So, but that's a lot of Souls likes.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I feel like I would get burnt out. I don't know if you feel that way, but like when I play like a JRPG, the next game I want to play is not a
something else, yeah,
JRPG.
yep,
Like, oh, Path of Radiance got added to NSO. It's a Fire Emblem game from the GameCube, and I'm like, I want to play it so bad, but I don't know when I'm going to because like I'm not going from Trails to Fire Emblem, and then there's another Fire Emblem. So like I need a little palate cleanser. I'll pick something else up.
yep,
Um, yeah, but those are the games on our backlog, and hopefully we'll tackle them. We'll see at the end of the year. Maybe we'll do a check in to see if we actually got to them. But thank you for the question, Soaking It. And thank you for everyone on Patreon that supports us and writes in every single week. But that will do it for the show. Hope everyone had a great time hanging out with us. A lively chat. Thank you so much, Sam. We're back. 2026 is underway. Can you let people know where they can find you?
of course. People can find me as always anywhere and everywhere at Sam Heaney. That is Heaney.
And you can find me at the Muffin Mon everywhere. It's a 1 and 7 instead of an A. Follow us at Save the Game Media over on Blue Sky or Save Game Media on Twitter if you're still using that. Until next week, we will see you. Goodbye.